180.
Welcome back to Online Darts, everyone. We are here in Leicester. What an exhibition. We have got Armageddon 2025 is underway, Dazza, and what an audience out there already.
Well, funny enough, when I got the gig, I was like, oh, that's a big audience for me to be playing darts against. And Jason went, you don't think you're playing darts, do you, Glenn? It's the VIP. But I've had a great afternoon. You can hear my voice going. Just been mingling with the VIPs, done a little bit of dart coaching as well. So it's been hard work.
Look, this is a staple of the calendar now, is it? Like, people look forward to PDC events, but this is right up there, isn't it, in terms of events people look forward to now?
And the easy answer is yes. Probably the biggest exhibition now in the UK, but I've been watching behind the scenes. I've never seen Matt Ward look so stressed in all my life there, and yeah, they're doing a magnificent job.
Yeah, look, the darts itself, Premier League, it's looking like it's almost done and dusted. It looks as if Nathan has got that final spot. Yeah. What have you made of it, especially last night as well?
I thought last night was the best week. I thought the quality, and just like you, Phil, I have been, well, not like you, but like the majority of fans have been watching from home. It's been 6 weeks since I've done a little bit of work with Sky, so I'm there in Sheffield and London as well, but thoroughly enjoyed it. I enjoy the format. I wasn't really sure. Of course, when I won it was different, so maybe you'd think slightly different from there. But the quality and the precision, the accuracy of the players at the moment, that match between the Lukes yesterday really stood out for me.
Are they head and shoulders above everyone at the moment?
Not head and shoulders, but they are the best two players. I still love Gezi Price. I still think there's something in there. I still think there's another story from Michael to come, but isn't it typical Michael to beat Nathan next week and go on and win it? I just think Luke and Luke are the best two players, but head and shoulders, no.
I want to get your thoughts on Michael, because he doesn't look himself. That swagger isn't there right now. And I know that comes from winning and so on, but it just doesn't look like Michael van Goen at the moment.
I enjoyed your interview with him. There was a couple of testing questions you gave him, so fair play to you, Phil, just to see if that vulnerability comes out, and you picked on something where he's saying, you know, we and I, you know, those different types of things there. Look, I think someone said he doesn't have the fear factor no more. He's the only player, Phil, I can honestly say that I had fear when I played him. I can't think when I stood against Gezi Price at his best in 2019 and 20, and you know, the best players around there. You know, when I played Michael, there was that fear factor. I was scared. You know, I was really nervous to play him, and you know, this is like a benchmark of what you want to be. He's not that player now. He's not that player. So wouldn't it be fitting for him? And I'm not saying his career's over. Wouldn't it be fitting for him to have a real conclusion now of finding something from somewhere? But his technique. The question you're asked him that he can't throw like he used to was intriguing for someone who has a real obsession with throws now. You know, there's a lot of body going into that throw, that real flick of the wrist that he's doing these days, compared to that lovely silky swing that of the throw that he once had. So, yeah, but I admire his longevity. I lasted, what, a couple of years on there. It was that tiring, that difficult. So he's still around, he's still a big cheese in it, but can he get back to number one? I don't know.
Look, I want to, so you kind of went in there, the throw and the wrist position. Now, he played it down and whatever, but the dart leaving the hand at that angle, what does that do to someone's throw? Because he was always, his miss was always high. Now, the miss is always low. Is that because of the position, the dart in his hand?
Yeah, I think so. It's almost like he's forcing the dart. I talk about this pendulum swing of a throw of a player like that, and it's almost like he's thrown the hand at the dart is the sort of the best way to explain, and you know how much you can depend on. So it's really on feel, whereas before his technique, you know, that real lean forward that he had, and when one dart went in, the others went in. Now it's almost like he's pushing the body and the shoulders coming into it more, but can he get it right and match the 118 averages that are out there right now? It's going to be tough. I'm someone, Phil, who, when I hit the skids, then went and watched all my YouTube videos. So it's easy for a Phil Bars, it's easy for someone to go in there and say, Glenn, just do that and bring your arm back slightly. And I used to be like, if someone else tells me just to bring your arm back, but when your brain and your technique and your confidence and your belief won't allow you to do that, then it's very difficult. And I am sure Michael's looked at his throw before and now, but it's not an easy remedy to do, because then that comes into it.
The prize money for the Worlds has now been announced. It is going to be £1 million and £25 million in prize money. Double question this: one player's head, one PDPA head. As a player, obviously, what would be your reaction? And two, as someone that's looking after all professional players, is that too big a jump at once from half to a mil?
Yeah, I think Barry Hearn had the dream of the million, and I think that's been brought out now. From the PDPA, I would like the PDPA to sit down and come up with a ranking system to go to the PDC that will suit the top echelon, the top players, and also the players that you're alluding to there as well. I think the £1 million, I think I read a stat where it said whoever wins the Worlds doesn't have to win a leg of darts then for 2 years and will still be seeded number 3 2 years later. That's not right. So that needs to be addressed. So in answer to your question, as part of the PDPA, I would like us to put together a ranking system and say to the PDC, what do you think of that?
You know, I like that, because that's been one of the things that's been well documented. Even I remember Michael, even when he was world number one, used to say this ranking system isn't right, and he was world number one at the time. What is the answer though?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of the work Andy Scott does. He's 24/7. Let me tell you, the PDPA. He's our numbers guy, and I think he would come up with a system that suits all. I don't have the answer, but I don't think the answer right now is to have such a heavy. I love your interviews with the CEO. I think it's great with Matt, and he is quite bullish with his answers. That's our main competition. But you've asked me the question, and I would like to see a ranking system which suits all 1 to 8.
World Cup, obviously on the horizon. England are going to go off absolutely ridiculously short favourite. Can they be beaten? Yeah,
because pairs is so different. Listen, I'm someone who love pairs. In the old BDO system, if you have a look at my record, as good as I was as a singles player there. So, but you have to have a good dynamic, and the two best players don't always win in pairs. So it's not a given as much as everywhere. They're going to go as monstrous favourites. I'd be amazed if they don't win it, because they are the two best players. I did enjoy Luke Humphries with Michael Smith last year. I thought that dynamic was great. So at least I know that Luke Humphries can handle the situation. Luke, what's he like in pairs? It's not a gimme, as much of a gimme as everybody will say.
Gary Anderson, the enigma that is Gary Anderson, that just, you think he's sliding off and then he comes back and wins a Euro Tour. And we were looking at the provisional rankings for next year. He's one run away from being potentially top 4 in the world again, which is remarkable.
Yeah, it is. And that goes down to, I'm spending the afternoon with Steve Beaton. Longevity and everything. He's got that Rolls Royce throw. I was watching from the side when he was winning the Euro Tour as well. It looks as good as ever. And like I said, enigma's a great word for him. He does things against the grain sometimes, but a lot of it is boiled down to the fact that he's super talented. He's a fantastic dart player, but the bottom line, the fundamentals, that throw is sticking with him, and he looks. I mean, I tipped him to win the match play, and the Players' Champs, but another one after that. So maybe a massive win on a TV tournament would be great for Gary.
Could he win a third world title?
And that, I'm disappointed with your first question. Is Luke head and shoulders now, because maybe Gary should have been the example that I gave there. I was in the commentary box when Gary had that incredible game with Luke Littler, which proved he can still go the distance. So you still need that stamina, that discipline to practice, etc. But he won't be a million miles away.
That's an absolute pleasure. I know you've got to go and do a trophy presentation in a minute, so thank you very much, my friend.
Keep up the great work, Phil. Thank you.